What's up everybody, Jesse, Slot City Fishing. It's New Year's Day 2019. It's cold and windy outside, so we're gonna do a product review instead of going fishing. Today we're gonna talk about the Penn Conflict 2. After 10 months of heavy use, mostly kayak fishing, which I think is the harshest way that you could use a reel. And we'll talk about why, what I think about it. We're gonna take it apart, show you what it looks like after 10 months of use on the inside, and then I'm gonna give you an opinion about what I think about it and would I recommend it to you to buy it. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, it's good too. All right, before we get into this review though, if you haven't heard of Slot City Fishing, we're three brothers spread out across the Gulf Coast and soon to be on the eastern seaboard, Jacksonville, Florida. I'm moving there here pretty soon. But we do a lot of travel fishing videos, reviews, kayak fishing, catch and cooks, just all kind of cool fishing content, man. If you want to see more content like this, you should check out our other stuff too on our YouTube channel. And we also have a Facebook page, facebook.com/SlotCityFishing. We're very active on there, all three of us. You can ask us questions, make requests for videos, whatever. And we also do a lot of giveaways too. So speaking of giveaways, I've been trying to give away this loose speed spool now. We have two of them. This is the first giveaway. I've selected two people in my videos and I can't get a hold of them and they're not responding to me. So we're just gonna pick somebody and change up the way that we do our giveaways, maybe on Facebook or something, I don't know. But anyway, the person that we selected for this giveaway is Mr. Keith Owen. He's been a sub to our channel since we first started, about 8 months ago. We got well over 1,000 subs now, but he's been there since the beginning, commenting, giving us suggestions and honest feedback, fishing reports, all that. So for you being a pretty active participant in our channel, we're gonna go ahead and give you this reel, Keith. Thank you for watching, man. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's get into this review. Before we begin this, I want you guys to know I'm not affiliated with Penn Fishing in any way at all. Not pro staff sponsored, anything like that. As much as I would like to be on Penn's roster, we're not. We're just regular dudes, man, that like to fish. Just to prove that to you, here's the receipt. I bought it from Roy's Bait and Tackle in Corpus Christi, Texas on March 17th of 2018. And this reel has been with me, I would say 90% of my fishing trips since I bought it. So after 10 months of use, I feel like I can give you a pretty fair assessment of this reel. So getting into it, why did I buy this reel? Right now I'm in South Texas in the Corpus Christi area, and the majority of the sport fishing down here for inshore is done with artificial baits, soft plastics, hard baits for trout, redfish, flounder. So it's casting all day. A lot of artificial tournaments, they don't want you to use live bait, so you're just casting over and over and over and over again. So I wanted something that was light. I started my YouTube channel around that time also, so I was kind of getting into doing the product reviews. So I was like, hey man, this is cool. I'll buy it when it's new, use it for a while, do a product review on it. So I did that. But now I've had it for 10 months and it's been with me on like almost every single fishing trip. So let's talk about the specs. If you've watched any of my other videos, all those numbers, like how much drag capacity it has, line capacity, all that stuff, dude, I don't care about all that stuff. What I care about is can it do what I need it to do, and you know, how it feels to me while I'm using it. Because to be honest with you, man, all these reels, if you look at the specs and compare them like number wise, they're all super similar, man. What it comes down to is like the feel of it, the reliability of it, if it can do what you need it to do. So anyway, it's got HT100 drag. It's a sealed drag, which is pretty nice. You can see it's got that gasket on there. And that's 10 months of use. You can see it's probably got like a little bit of grime on the outside, but the seal right there for the drag washers, that's still intact. So that's cool. On the spool itself, it has that like rubber band on there. I forget what they call it, man. Superline spool. If you already know about pins, every one of their reels has that, dude. It's not a huge deal. It's keyed carbon drag washers. I don't know if I said that. I imagine that this reel is probably around 20-ish pounds of drag, which is way more than what you need if you're fishing for inshore species. And the high drag capacity actually hurts this reel. We'll talk about that in a second when I talk about the bad things about this reel. It's made out of RR30 compound, which they call their rigid resin RR30 body and rotor. So you'll see the body and the rotor are both made out of, it's like almost like a carbon. It's a synthetic material, which after 10 months of use, I'm not really crazy about, and we'll get into that when we talk about the cons again. Aluminum handle with it's got carbon fiber inserts all over it. It's a really cool looking reel. I don't know. Let's see. I paid 170 bucks for it, which is pretty expensive, man. Just to put that into perspective, I picked up this Shimano Sustain, which is a super high-end reel, and I got it repaired, and I got like 70 bucks in it, and this reel is far superior to this reel. So anyway, just throwing that out there, man. Your money can go a long way in fishing products if you shop smart. All right, so that's a little bit about it. I'm pretty sure I said that the majority of the fishing that I do is kayak fishing, so this reel has been through a lot, man. One time I was launching and I slipped and fell with all my body weight and hit the reel on the rotor right there. I dropped it in the water one time at the beach. I was wade fishing for a trout. I dropped it. So I've used it a lot, man. I would say probably more than your average fisherman would use it. We fish a ton, man, on this channel. But that's kind of an overview of my experience with it. Now let's get into the cons of this reel. This is what you guys really want to know. All right, drag. The drag is the same as in any other reel. I want you guys to look at this too, man. That way you don't think I'm like not knowledgeable about Penn reels. Here's a Slammer 3. Here's a Spinfisher 5. My brother has a Spinfisher 6. We have a bunch of these Spinfisher 5s. I think that this is the best Penn reel that you can buy right now, and it's definitely the most affordable, man. Amazon has these, dude. You can buy them on sale like it's going out of style. Killer reel. I'm gonna do another video review about this reel if you're interested in it. The Spinfisher 5. I would honestly recommend this over the 6 right now, because there's not much difference between these two reels, and this reel is a hell of a lot cheaper right now. Anyway, Battle 2, Pursuit 3, Fierce. I have all the reels, man. So where I'm getting at is the drag. Literally, this drag it's not in the Fierce, but it's in the Pursuit 3, it's in the Spinfisher, it's in the Battle 2, and the Slammer 3 is a slightly different drag. It's the ones that's in the same one that's in the conventional reels. It's called the Slammer drag. But yeah, same drag. So if the drag capacity is influencing your decision to buy this reel, don't let it do that, man, because the Penn Battle 2 has the same. Even the Pursuit 3, which is their cheapest reel in their lineup, has equally good drag, but it's not sealed. But if you don't drop your reels, then that doesn't matter anyway. All right, so we knocked out the drag. Line capacity, it's the same as all the other ones. I don't know, it's same, negligible. All right, now let's get into the RR30 compound. I don't like the RR30 compound. If you're buying this reel because it's light, this reel's expensive, man. I would recommend you save your money. If you want to buy a light reel, save your money and buy the Shimano CI4 Plus reels, because they're lighter and they're way better made. They are more expensive, But if you're paying 170 bucks for a reel, man, just pinch your pennies. And this isn't the lightest reel is what I'm getting at. So, and also the weight difference between like even these two reels, dude, it's not much, man. I don't know. I'm a moderately in shape dude, and never once have I got tired throwing artificials because of the extra whatever ounce or two that the Penn Battle 2 weighs. So to me, the weight's not a huge factor, but it might be for you, man. If you've had a shoulder injury or you fish more than me, which you might, I don't know, man. If you're like a tournament fisherman and that's what you do for a living, or you're a guide, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, the reason I don't like it is because the benefit of the weight loss, it's at a detriment to the strength of the reel. I hooked into a big fish at the jetty. I'm pretty sure it was a jack. It probably wasn't even a giant, but the RR30, the drag that this reel puts out, the RR30 couldn't take it, and it compromised like the structural like integrity of the reel, and it was actually torquing in my hand, and it made it to where the gears were binding. So I had to like wrench the reel to get the line to come in. So not a huge fan. If you watch my channel, I recently landed, it was pushing 40 inches bull red from the kayak, and I landed it on this old Battle 2. I've had this reel for going on 3 years now, and it worked like a champ. I'm pretty sure that this reel would have bound up and I would have lost that fish, but this cheap, you can buy these less than 100 bucks. It handled it no freaking problem, and I'm afraid that this reel wouldn't be able to handle it. So that's the RR30, excuse me. All right, another big deal on this reel and the higher end Penn reels is the CNC gears. I'm not really 100% what that means, to be honest with you. And like I said earlier, I don't really care about that. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the quality of components and the machining. But I just want to prove a point to you. I told you that I did, I torqued the reel on multiple big fish. So that puts play in the gears. And then I did drop it. I told you I fell down. I didn't like slam it down, but I slipped and fell, man. That's a common thing. You guys know, if you're fishing on the rocks or whatever. I wouldn't say it was any crazier than any other time, but it definitely has play. You hear that? Like, it's not, so that's the anti-reverse, and then the gears, I'm pretty sure it just has play in it, man. My other reels, like here's my Spin Fisher, zero play, man. I've had this reel longer, way longer, and still solid. You can kind of hear it too, man. Like this reel is pretty smooth. This reel, you can just hear, man, that like something's up in there. The gears, they aren't lining up good. This isn't a sealed reel, also, that's the biggest thing for me, man, is how long these reels last. That's where your money is going. Is like, say you spent 170 bucks on this reel. Well, this reel is approaching being worn out to me. I'll probably give it away or donate it or something. So for the price that I paid for this reel, sometimes you can catch the smaller Spin Fisher 5. It comes in at 3500 for around 100 bucks. So drastically cheaper, and it lasts longer. So like, I don't know, you could have this like the cool new one for a little bit, but this one's gonna far outlast it. And it's not much heavier, dude. Like I said, it's a couple ounces. But we talked about the drag, talked about the RR30. I dropped it in the water one time and I picked it up immediately, but from that day forward, the reel was never as smooth. I haven't taken it apart and cleaned it. That maybe could make it better. I don't know. But I do know that if I drop this in the water, I don't really got to worry about it, man, because it's all sealed up. This Slammer 3 is IPX6. That doesn't mean that it's waterproof, but that means that it does have a super high level of water resistance. So if you're fishing in an area where your reels are going to get wet all the time, Like if you're plugging wade fishing out like deep in the surf, or you're fishing on the jetty and you're getting splashed all the time, just don't even get this reel. It's not, this isn't for you, man. You want something like this, the Slammer 3 or the Spinfisher 5 or 6. They're both sealed. Okay, bearings, drag, RR30. I don't like that. I don't know, man. Basically, the benefit of this reel is it's very light, and that's it. Other than that, it's no different than this reel. This is a non-sealed reel. It has the same drag in it. It doesn't have that gasket in it, but if you don't drop your reels in water, it doesn't really matter. Like, the bearings aren't sealed in this reel, but the drag is. If water gets in your bearings, that's way worse of a problem than if you get water on your drag. I don't know. That's my opinion. But I think that we thoroughly talked about why. I don't know, dude. I just wouldn't really recommend this reel to anybody, just because the same benefit, you can get it from a different reel, like the Shimano CI4 Plus Stratic. It's a more expensive reel, but it's lighter, more durable, way smoother. If you're gonna buy this reel, save your money and buy a Battle 2 or a Spinfisher 5. That's my opinion, man. If you don't like it, or you think I'm wrong, you think I'm a noob and I don't know what I'm talking about, man, comment. We'll talk about it. But yeah, I fish a ton, man. That's my opinion. All right, dudes, I got this taken apart about as much as I would like to. I'm not going to tear it down any further because it's actually in better shape than I thought it was. There's your main bearing and the anti-reverse. It's all in there, and that's sealed, and I can tell that that seal was never compromised. So I don't want to tear that down right there because I don't see any benefit to it. I took out the drag, and let's see if you can see that. You can see it's got a little bit of burn on it. Not too bad though. Not to the point to where I feel like I need to replace them though. If you see in the bottom left corner down there where it looks a little bit rough, that's like the beginning of your drag washers starting to break down. So I was hoping once I opened this thing up that I'd be able to see on the gears where that play was coming from, like a chipped gear or something, but I'm not able to actually see it. It looks fine. Yeah, the bearings, I don't know. You can see if you look in the grease, the seal was definitely compromised and water got inside down there. So, I don't know. There you go, man. That's the inside. The outer edge of it, you can see right here, there's no gasket along the outside of this reel, and the bearings aren't sealed, so that explains how the water got in. It just came in through the sides. So I mean, I'm not really surprised. That's kind of what I expected, but I don't know. There you go. I just wanted to show you what it looks like on the inside after 10 months of use. I'm gonna drop this reel off and get it professionally serviced. I can do it myself, but there's plenty of guys in town that can do it way better than me, so I'm just gonna go take it to them and let them do it. So we'll get this guy put back together, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so we talked about it. We took it apart. We saw what it looks like after 10 months of use. That's it. I think that you guys kind of see what my opinion is about it. If you disagree, comment. Yeah. Like I said earlier, man, if you want to see more reviews like this, consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to do a review like on all the Penn reels. I have a bunch of Shimanos. I got a Corrado K, Shimano bait caster, and this is I don't know, I got all kind of stuff. I'm going to keep on doing reel reviews. As much as I love doing my fishing content where I actually go out, we got some cool stuff. Like check out our Grand Isle kayak fishing videos. We traveled down there with the kayak trailer, got an Airbnb, just totally wore out the fishing down there. Caught probably 50 keeper fish in like 2 days. You guys watch these reviews more, so I want to keep on doing these. Yeah, we appreciate you guys watching. Just a disclaimer, we are a monetized channel, so we do make money off of you guys watching this, but I want y'all to know, man, that if you sub to this channel, we've already made a pact that all the money that we make from our ad revenue and all that stuff, it just goes straight back into the channel, man, to do more reviews. Eventually, we're going to buy a boat with it. So yeah, this channel is your channel, man. Consider subbing. Thank you guys for watching, and tight lines. See you out there on the water.